I think Jurgen was a big influence when I was the under-23s coach at Liverpool under him. He came in and his personality, it fit the club really well. The club and him were on the same page, and you can see the success they've had from that. But there's been lots of influences. In my time at Chelsea, there was a lot of managers. Carlo Ancelotti was a big influence in terms of the way that he was. I wasn't close to him, but in terms of the way he carried himself around the building and the opportunities that he gave to the young players at the time was really refreshing at Chelsea. So that was a big influence. And latterly, Stephen and Gary McAllister have been fantastic influences on me as well, just as men, as much as football. So the time at Rangers and Aston Villa with them was fantastic also.
Perfect. And just a couple for you.
Well, I think I'm very clear on how I want to play football and how it should look, and standards. You know, I've been very lucky. I've had the golden spoon, if you like, with the clubs that I've worked at, and in terms of the standards, that certainly rubs off on you. I think communication is really important. Understand it's a management team, and not just myself and not just any manager. It's about the team that you build around you. It's about the club, the board, everything being aligned, and that was a lot of the discussions that we had. For QPR in terms of aligning it, was my ideas aligned with the club, vice versa, what was the plans for the future. So I think they're the really important things that I've learned over the period. I obviously had a short spell in Brazil, which was fantastic for me personally, but it was the only time really I worked in a club where I didn't feel things were aligned, and that sort of hit home to me even more. So I questioned the board as much as they questioned me coming in, which I think was important.
And Les, in regards to time?
It's in a fantastic place. It's got great owners. They're really backing it. It's an exciting time. You see the players that have come in. It was very difficult to leave Stephen's management team because he's such a very decent human being, and we had a strong partnership. We've always been honest with each other. I've always been honest that I want to be a manager, a head coach one day. And it was about the opportunity. We had that discussion when we left Liverpool to go to Rangers together. So he was very understanding. I felt the timing is not perfect, but it never is in football. But in terms of this season, the timing was good. And ultimately, I have to go my own route, and I wanted to be a head coach, and I felt this was a wonderful opportunity for me, a really good time for the club moving into the new training ground.
And in terms of style on the pitch?
I think there'll be slight differences. At the end of the day, Stephen was the manager and I was the coach or the assistant along with Gary and the other staff. So there'll be slight differences. I think each team's very unique, and we have a unique squad here, and I've got to get the best out of them with the management team and everybody to get a really competitive QPR team on the pitch, and that's what I'll be aiming to do. So there'll be some, but obviously give us some time. Let's get started and you'll see it in the season.
And just lastly, give your ears.
Yeah, I've seen a little bit about that. I'm not guaranteed any favours from anyone. I think in football everyone has to do what's right for their young players. Aston Villa do have some very talented young players, so do the other clubs that I've worked with. But it's important that we have players that are here at QPR and invested in our future. So any of the players that we would look to bring on loan, is there an option that they can stay here longer term? Have we got the right players in the right position in this club at the moment? QPR is not going to be a holding ground for other players from other teams to develop, but we will use the loan market if and when needed. I think the 2 transfers we've done already are from boys that have been at big clubs in the past, and they're at a ripe age to kick on here. We have a group of players that are around 22 to 24 in our squad and in our club we think can develop to the next level. So that's what we'll be busy, all of us, working to fulfil their potential.
Thanks, and good.
It's an important step. Michael's come into an environment now where he's got an eye on the 23s, he's got an eye on the 18s. You know, all the players are going to be here. You know, it's, as he said, it's going to be a fantastic facility when it's finished. It's not quite there yet, but we're all on the same site now, so hopefully that will do the club well. It will definitely do the club well going forward.